Like, as long as you're not married yet, y'all, like, please, like, take all the time that you need to. But there does come a point where we do all have the choice. Self-love is learning to practice real love, and real love is giving to others. Hello, beautiful people. It is the season of love. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and I know, it is hard for some of us out here. Not me this year, praise the Lord, but it is hard out here. And I think our culture, our society really harps on this idea of love and romantic love around the beginning of the year. So I'm gonna need y'all to get some tea, some coffee, whatever keeps you calm and relaxed, and take a listen to this full episode because we are going to just talk about some of the practicalities of these really weird expectations that our society has and some ways to enjoy real love this Valentine's Day. We all know love is a beautiful thing. We've seen it in the Disney movies, we have seen it on TV, we've seen it in the books we read, but I think a lot of times what we miss out on is that love, true love, is a healing thing. True love is a mirror. It reveals the worst parts of ourselves. And the reality of this, that we see the truth of it, is in God's love. God's love reveals who we are, and it refines us in love, through love, into who we are meant to be. So while romantic love, Valentine's Day, all of that is amazing and great, a lot of times what society is pushing on us, what we say when we say we're looking for love, is we're looking for that lovey-dovey feeling, for that person to go out with on cute dates and to just enjoy our time together with. And while that's great, that's not all that love is. That's comfort. There are some areas that we can only grow in while in relationship with another person. So before that, it's best to grow through things that you can grow in individually, so that way you're not bringing extra stuff in as you grow in the relationship. And relationships are hard, they take work, but also working on yourself takes work. And it's better to start working through those things that you have the tools to work through on your own now, and to enjoy that, and to find that love is not connected to romantic partners. Love is connected to God, and it's important for us to experience that and to enjoy the fullness of that now. Why wait? So, considering these things, before we jump into the pursuit of love and romantic relationships, and even if you aren't in a relationship, let's dive into what love means within ourselves. So first, we're going to talk about self-love to serve others. I think a lot of times when we talk about this self-love, it can all be inward, but true love is serving. And that's a hard lesson to learn, y'all, but true love is serving, not taking. So how can you learn to love yourself? By being a better friend to the people around you, to be able to put yourself to the side and say, I love myself so much that I can give myself to others. To be impactful in your community, I think something that is really easy to fall into, that I've fallen into, is being a passive beneficiary of other people's hard work, of what other people have put into place. So for example, going to church all the time, enjoying service, enjoying the music, enjoying the service of all these other people, but in reality, not putting anything back into it. There was a survey I had to do once, and one of the questions was, are you a part of a community that would suffer or be disadvantaged if you weren't in it? Do you have any critical roles in that? And I was like, I don't think I am. We're all valuable. We all bring things to communities. We bring something unique. But if I wasn't there, there's no role that would be needing to be filled. And that really hit me. Like, I'm not really serving as much as I think I am. And again, that self-love, to be able to put others first. Self-love is learning to understand and to practice real love. And real love is giving to others. So there's only so much joy that you can get out of doing everything you want for yourself. It's not what we were made to do, and it's not fulfilling, and it's not beneficial, honestly, in the long term. So having that self-love to also put others first, to say, yes, I'm frustrated. Let me try to put my feelings to the side and be a loving person. Yes, this is inconvenient, but I know it would really serve that person in the moment. And this is a growing journey. We're not going to be perfect at it, but it's something that we can all work on every day, whether we are in a relationship or not. Second, self-love to find true identity. This is a big one, y'all. With social media and the world becoming bigger for all of us, we can see so much. We can see so many images of what we think that we want to be in life. And it's hard. It's really hard to find your true identity and to get back to who you are as a person. It's easy to be disillusioned by the world. But first, of course, we know that it is so important to find your identity in God. I think especially in reading the scriptures, like you're not going to read the scriptures and know your personality type. That's not how it works. But I think there are foundational principles of yourself that are really, really important to hone into. First, being made in the image of God. There's so many deep dive studies that people have made into this topic, but I think the main things to take away are one, that you have intrinsic value outside of your accomplishments. Two, you are valuable as a person. So this means carrying yourself also with a certain level of respect, decorum, having standards that really tie into that, which if y'all want to go deeper in detail on that, let me know in the comments down below, as I know mostly women watch this, and of course men as well. It's very important, especially in today's society, to keep those standards. That's a big part of understanding who you are and finding that identity. And third, with that identity, is understanding being made to create, to produce, and to bring life to situations. So maybe you love drawing, maybe you love coming up with new business ideas, whatever that is that you like, just love to do, that is a part of your God-given identity. It's not just a random thing that you like. It's important and God cares about it, probably even more than you do. So as you're growing in love for yourself, really dive in deep into whatever that is. Secondly, and we kind of tapped into this already, but identity as a person outside of culture. Some of us need to do a social media fast, me included, but I think it's really important just to be grounded in like, I'm a person on this earth. What am I here for? And finding enjoyment in that, in the day-to-day, in the mundane, will really help a lot. I think in bringing more joy into your present. And thirdly, having confidence in the things that you love and enjoy doing. The more that you invest in yourself, the more confident that you will be. And the more you, again, back to that first point in this section, the more that you find your identity in God and understand who you were made to be, the more confident you will be. So it is super important, you guys, to keep a focus on those things and to actually take the time to invest in what you enjoy above what other people are telling you that you have to do, to invest in what God's leading you to do before you invest in what other people are telling you to do, because life is only so long. You know, life is short. You don't want to waste it wallowing in loneliness. Like, yes, of course, we all have lonely moments, lonely days, lonely months, like, to be honest, even lonely years. And that is completely normal. But I think that something that can really help us through it is like, yes, serving others, like we said in that first point, but also just enjoying the life that you have. Even like in the scriptures, it speaks on how important it is to enjoy the work of our hands and just to really appreciate the little things in life, and that is man's blessing. That is where the joy in our life really comes from. That's how we were made to operate, is to, one, of course, love others, love your neighbor as yourself, but also just to enjoy what you got and to really rest in that. So don't live your life wanting somebody else's. Don't live your life just fiending and always wanting what you see online, but look at what you have. I think a lot of times we just never take the time to sit down and look at what we have in front of us and say, one, what am I thankful for from this? And second, what can I do with this? Even if it's just going on a walk outside, going out for coffee with your friend from work outside of the office, like those little things, just finding those things to do that will add a little bit of joy into your life. And going off of that, Please enjoy the present. I know it can be hard, even if it's Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, like it doesn't matter the holiday. Even if it's your birthday, it can be hard to enjoy those moments, to not be jealous of what other people have, to not want something that you don't have. It is hard, and I understand that completely. And I've had those moments, but there does come a point where we do all have the choice to choose whether we want to live in the present and enjoy that or not. This is me last year during Valentine's Day. It's gonna be hard. I'm not even gonna lie. It's gonna be hard for anybody to beat that. Okay. And while there is a certain joy that comes with being with another person that you can't get through any activity, no matter what it is, being without a person in a romantic space does not mean that you cannot be enjoying things during these holidays. Make yourself a self-care night. Go to Dollar Tree, unless you have really sensitive skin, get a face mask, a little body scrub for $3. Have a self-care night and watch your favorite TV show. If you're not doing anything on Valentine's night, make that a night between you and God. We're gonna have some focus time tonight, okay? With the one that loves you the most, y'all. The most. And enjoy that time. Take yourself out to a restaurant you love. Or if you end up having a free week because you thought you'd be doing something on Valentine's Day and all of a sudden you aren't, take yourself on a trip to Hawaii, okay? I understand also, as a very young person, I am speaking from a place where I haven't experienced being single and 30, being single and 35, being 25 and thinking you'd already be married, but there are no prospects on the horizon. I haven't experienced that. So there's a certain difficulty that I understand that I don't know, but I really do think that, like, if somebody is not in your life yet, there is a reason that they're not in your life. Maybe the person for you is still growing. Maybe God knows she needs to, or he needs to, get more comfortable with who they are independently. Maybe God knows she or he hasn't tapped into their purpose yet. And if they met another person, that person would sweep them off of their feet and they might enjoy it so much, but they would completely lose what they were created to do. Or maybe God knows they don't even know me enough yet, and that other person would draw them farther away. There's so many reasons why the timing can be different than what you expect, but one, trust that God's timing is better than your timing. And also, I think a lot of times when it comes to romantic relationships, we can feel like something is missing when we don't have them. And I think it's important to think of the fact that if someone isn't in your life yet, there is nothing that is missing, because when God brings someone into your life, it is adding on. Okay, so when it's time to add on, if it is God's purpose for your life for someone to be added on, they will be added on in the appropriate time. But until then, it is so important to get out of that mindset that something is missing and to enjoy and be thankful for what we got. And when it does feel that someone's missing, when we do get tempted into that discouragement, that sadness, it's important to do what you can, refocus on God. I think changing that mindset to like, no one is missing, they're just not added yet, will be so transformational for how you view romantic relationships and understanding their place in your life. Off of that, y'all, reflect. Like, what are things that I've said I wanted to do that I haven't done yet? What are things that I've been called to do that I haven't done yet? And start investing into yourself. Maybe you have to go back to school. Maybe you have to hit up that old friend. Like, start putting intentional effort back into who you are as a person, because you have to invest in yourself at some point, and that will really help a lot in, again, back to that first point of loving yourself. And again, cultivate your God-given talents. Cultivate them, learn them, enjoy them, because I think a big thing is, one, as a woman, and I know this can be a controversial topic, but as a woman of faith, I understand, like, the day that I get married, I'm going to be submitting, under a man, which is hard to say in today's society, but it's the reality of it. Like, spiritually, there is a covering, there is a headship. And with that, like, you have to think to yourself, if I don't know my purpose, if I don't know what I love, how will I be able to guide it towards the right person that I can support? the right man that I can submit to. Like, you have to have a certain amount of one, like relationship with God and devotion to God first, and second, understanding of who you are as a person. For example, like if you know that you need a lot of quality time and that is something that you've asked God about and like all that, like, and you just know like that's who you are as a person, you can't be with somebody who's never going to be there because they're working all the time. And it takes time though to learn those things about ourselves. It takes a lot of self-reflection. Sometimes it takes therapy, y'all. If you haven't been to therapy and you can and you have the resources to do so, do it. So when it comes to relationships, all these things about like self-love, self-growth, investing in ourselves, yes, are for ourselves, but it's also like practically, y'all, like you really have to know who you are. And it's similarly as a man. If you don't know your purpose and you're trying to bring another person into it, like slow down. I think it's good to grow with people, but like if you have no idea of anything that you want to do or no vision for your life, like step one is praying to God. Because I was talking with my dad, and the thing is, a lot of people never actually pursue their true purpose. They just pursue what they felt that they wanted to do. And while there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, I think it's so much more valuable when you take the time to really like wrestle with yourself and wrestle with God about what it is that you were born to do. And of course, in relationships, like especially if you're young, like you're not going to know exactly what your purpose is when you start dating somebody. Like it's okay to grow through that. But if you're still single, like don't see it as a bad thing. Like take advantage of that time, you know, again, like as a man, take advantage of that time to build, to learn from people who are older than you, from men that you look up to. Take that time to like create a strong foundation for yourself, to learn yourself, learn your routine, to become the person and the man that you're meant to be, to see a vision for your life and think like, what kind of person would I need to support me in this journey and to partner with on this journey. And y'all, I did want to clarify, as I speak about, you know, women submitting to a man, supporting his vision, that doesn't mean that all of your dreams, passions, and goals automatically go out the window. But it's just really reinforcing that fact that in a spiritual sense, there is a headship that does exist. There is a covering that that man has over his family, and it's not something to be taken lightly at all, because whatever that vision is for them, that covering is also what's going to be covering you. And so it's important for us women to be picky. And I think it's something that the more we have time to get closer to God, the more we'll be able to discern that we're aligned with someone who will be able to bring out the purpose that we have in our lives to the fullest. So yeah, I think that that covering, that headship all comes back around to both parties being submitted to God and learning to love each other from a place that sees each other as God sees them. And you guys, ultimately, like I said, I think sometimes our society can put a little bit of a fairy tale perspective on love and on all that it is, and put a little bit too much emphasis on it, when really it's just so important to enjoy where you are at. And I hope that this episode really helps you kind of bridge the connection between pursuing self-love and how it will enrich your future relationships, and how important it is to enjoy your singleness and like being by yourself. Like as long as you're not married yet, y'all, like please, like take all the time that you need to learn who you are as a person, become closer with God, and strengthen that relationship first of all, and find out what you're really passionate about and all of those great things. As I said, the season of love is here, and we're all going to enjoy it to the fullest, whether you're in a relationship or not. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Stay blessed.